Hey everybody, it's Dan from the Outdoor Trade Show Network. I'm here with my friend Dan Kenney, who runs 3 big shows out in the East Coast out there, out in the New England area. And Dan does a really good job. I've been talking with Dan, and he does a really good job with taking care of everybody on that East Coast as far as the outdoor goes. And Dan, I'm going to turn this over to you. And if you would introduce yourself and tell everybody about, your shows and what you got going on, your vendors, and then you and I will talk about why people need to be at your shows. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Take it over, Dan, and introduce yourself.
Okay, Dan Kenney here. I am from Massachusetts, and I run 3 expositions right now in the Northeast. And if you live here, similar to where Dan's from, you basically have a 3-month window to do shows, and it's called winter. So if you do a show in April through, I would say, December, it's going to be kind of tough to get people through the door. So January, I do the New England Fishing Expo in Massachusetts. February 14th through the 16th, I do the Messina Fishing Expo in Messina, New York. And March 6th through the 8th, I do the New Hampshire Outdoor Expo. I've been running shows since 2011. That was my first one. I took over the old Worcester show, which was in Mass. And at that time, I guess my greatest claim to fame, so to speak, is at that time, that show had really taken a downward slide. And unfortunately, we see it all over. And speaking to outdoorsmen, you'll understand this. We had, bath fitters there, Owens Corner Insulation, trinkets, gadgets, people, like with remote control cars up and down the aisles, just all kinds of crazy stuff. People cleaning your jewelry, and it really freaked me out. I was like, what are these people doing here? Because it's an outdoor show. Anyways, fast forward a couple of years. It took me a couple of years to weed out that stuff, and now I'm proud to say that at all of my shows, if you are not in the outdoor industry or have an outdoor related product or something, i.e. that an avid outdoorsman or family would use, then quite simply, you can't set up a booth. I've been pretty hardcore about that, but it served us well because the outdoorsmen who come to the show really appreciate the fact that they're not getting asked to spin a wheel for a cruise or, hey, can I fix your windows and all that type of stuff. So aside from that, though, I will say there in the Northeast, we're in a very fortunate area. There are a lot of good shows in the Northeast. I really don't know about, Dan, where you're at, Minnesota, Wisconsin area. I know there's a lot of good ice shows. In Midwest and Chicago, there's a couple, but out here, we're very fortunate. I know there's my 3 shows, but also ASA runs a couple out this way, and one's in Suffern, New York, and that's a freshwater fishing one. One's in Somerset, Edison, which is saltwater. The Springfield, Mass guys, they're probably an hour from my show. They run a good outdoor show. We have a specific show for saltwater guys, and I know you guys don't do saltwater, but there's a show called RISA. It's a Rhode Island Saltwater Association. Those guys do a great job. MSBA, Mass Striped Bass Association, does a great job. So we have the benefit of frankly, and I appreciate that, is running these shows is a lot of work, but also, we are in a situation here where these other guys or companies are running shows and doing a pretty good job. So I never come out and say, like as far as competition goes, us against them. We're all in this together. And I always tell people about the other shows. I always speak positively about them because if they do well, I do well, and vice versa. I would say that these outdoor people, our fan base, they go to every show no matter what anyways. So there's really no point in downing another show because they're going to go to mine, they're going to go to Todd's, they're going to go to Dougie's, and so forth. So lots of good shows. Happy to have that in New England. I will try to I need to go on the Facebook page live, Dan, if I need to answer a couple questions, right?
I haven't, Messina Fishing Expo. I'm looking at some of the stuff that we got coming through here. I haven't seen anything specific. I haven't seen anything specific on the questions. Yeah, like you said, Dan, I found out about you from some vendors that said, hey, you need to talk to Dan Kenney. The guy runs some really good shows out on the East Coast out there. So that's why you and I have been talking and carrying on. I want to help you as much as I can. What I would like to talk a little bit about is you've got some really good vendors that are in your shows. You've got some really good speakers that are going to be. Your shows are really good. Do a little self bragging here, if you would. Talk a little bit.
I just went live on my phone.
Huh?
I just went live, Dan, on my phone, so I'm seeing a couple of the comments. But all right. So bragging wise, thank you, Dan. And you know what? That makes me feel so. You have no idea how good that makes me feel. That here you are in Wisconsin, and vendors have gotten to your ear, and the guys that run shows out there saying that we run some quality shows out here. That's people just don't get how much that means to me. It's a lot of work, but I really do pride myself in running quality shows, and I guess the mindset is I just you're passionate about the sport, you're passionate about the industry, and aside from getting compliments, those things are great, but when you see a like a small jig company or a small spinnerbait company, maybe a small retailer in comparison to like a Bass Pro, Cabela's, type of situation, and they can use this platform, a boat dealer, great boat deals at my show with bass boats. When they can use this platform and come to a show for 3 days and put money in their pocket and drive the economy, I get a real charge out of that. It's because it's not me. It's I happen to have my name on the sign, but
right.
But seeing this happen year after year, and these people, relying on me, really, they're relying on me to boost their business revenue, and there's nothing that drives me harder than that challenge.
Well, the shows have some of your best products. Some of your
Right.
best products you're going to find at these shows. These guys that make it in their basements and their garages, they make some of the best stuff you're ever going to find out there. And that's why I always enjoyed going to the shows, because I would load up on what I needed for the year. But the other thing is you get to talk to everybody. And with social media today, Facebook and all these different platforms, you get to meet the people that you're you see the pictures and you see the posts and you see what's going on. You get to shake their hand and ask questions. You can come up and ask questions.
Yeah, and Dan, one of the things that's awesome. So I know that you've shared a couple of posts that there's a company, Loaded for Bass, and that's Jim Marco. We're good friends. He does a great.
He's the best. Jim is the best.
So he's got a unique product, obviously, with the jig trailers, but he also makes some really cool spinner baits. But we also have, bog hog jigs, Samatus baits, Ralphie with Radfish lures. I'm probably going to get someone mad at me, but Rocky Ledge tackle.
I know you got 100 vendors. You got 100 vendors.
I got so many tackle. But my point in saying that is that just to capitalize for a moment on the guys that are making it in their basement or their garage, the beauty of this is you can go to like a closer tackle booth, and maybe you had a lure or a bait that was your moneymaker back in the day. A lot of these guys can just custom make you stuff to what you're looking for, your colors, your specifications, and you can say, hey, you meet them at the show, I want to order 36 of these.
Yeah,
it's
and
great.
The guys love it. It's a win-win all the way around. It's a win-win it's for everybody. It's a win.
Yeah, and I just saw Justin Smith is watching. So Michael Kipe just told me that Justin Smith is watching. He owns Closer Tackle. So,
Nice.
so there's so many good things out there in the world. At our shows, Dan, one of the things that with the New England Fishing Expo, I'll just give you the website. It's anyfishingexpo.com. Messina Fishing Expo is messinafishingexpo.com. New Hampshire Outdoor Expo is nhoutdoorexpo.com. That show is a little bit of a hybrid because that show is more outdoors, kayaks, hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing. My other two shows with my background are primarily fishing. It's hardcore fishing. But when you run these shows, you know, where I get a charge, I was talking about the vendors being able to make money, but when you see the family come together, what I call a family.
Yep.
I mean, of course, there's all kinds of issues and drama and people post things on social media, and there might be a couple of people that are enemies here and there, and that spikes and goes down and whatever. But by and large, when you go to these shows, you're meeting social media people and companies, putting a face to a name, shaking their hand, and at the end of the day, literally, all of these companies, even competing companies, are hanging out in the lobbies, going out to the restaurants together, talking fishing, talking hunting, telling stories. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, yes. I enjoy the show so much, and I try to explain it. That's one nice part about what we're doing here is try to explain to people. I enjoy the shows, and I enjoy them a lot because you get to meet people and shake their hand and
Right.
and have a laugh, and it's like, and then when you talk to them in the summer, let's say you need something, it's like, hey, yeah, I remember meeting you at the show. You know, you got
Right.
you got that connection. There's a connection.
So as far as the shows on the East Coast with the January, February, March time schedule, like I was saying, that, you know, we get cabin fever up in here, so it's really good to get out to a show, meet your partners, meet your buddies, meet the companies, have some camaraderie, tell some stories. But also one of the things that we didn't touch on yet, but there was a time period where you would go to shows, and I'm talking back in the day because I've always gone to shows and I've always critiqued them and I've always enjoyed them. But what I've tried to bring back to the shows, Dan, and this is real important, is there used to be a day where you went to the shows and you had to get a deal. The reason for going to the show was not only to meet Shimano guys or meet the Humminbird Electronics guys or see the, you know, Ranger bass boat. All that stuff is great, but you used to go to the shows and the driving force was, I'm going to save $10 or I'm going to save $50 or I'm going to get this rod and reel combo for $99 that's usually, you know, $200, right? So what I've done with a lot of my vendors is, you know, I'm very open about it. We really do encourage. I can't tell everyone what to do, but we encourage them to do show specials. We encourage them to do good deals because that helps get the bodies through the door. That helps all the vendors, not just you. So if you as a vendor run a special and just something hokey here, but let's just say you do 3 spinnerbaits for $10. That might not sound like much. But what if you're solely responsible for getting 50 bodies through the door because of your special? But those 50 bodies buy your spinnerbaits, but they also spend $200 with other vendors that are there. So that's really the formula that I try to instill in a lot of my guys is if I can't get a deal, then I'm less likely to go to a show, right?
Right. You and I talked about that needs to be a big part of what happens. It's a
Right.
it's a yearly special that they run at the shows. And we'll work on
Right.
that, Dan. We'll keep pushing it. We'll keep plugging that, you know what, we're going to run a special once a year. And you have to go to the show to get that special. You know?
Right.
And you're only going to find it at the show. And it's tough to do. We got to keep repetition and keep working and working and working here. But yes, I agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
And another thing that we do at our shows is, it's not something that other shows don't do either, but I look for doorbusters. I look for things that I can, give on a Friday. The first 250 people get a Yozuri lure when they walk in the door, right?
Yeah.
Um, you know, I will do a marketing partnership with a company and even spend money and buy those lures at a discount just for the added value of having a doorbuster and letting people come into the door. Because as an example, I use Yozuri, but I've used Daddy Mac, I've used bog hog jigs, I've used a lot of different things in the past. But if you come to the show and you drop $12, but you're handed a lure that costs 17 or 18 or 19 at Bass Pro, that's a pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
So that's really what I've tried to do is for the doorbusters is, and then we also do every Saturday night, we do a rod and reel giveaway where we give away probably about $2,500 worth of rod and reels. Of course, we're partial to a lot of the kids, so sometimes we ask the trivia questions to younger kids because trying to get them and groom them to be in the sport. But that's another thing that gets people to the show. You can stand there and get handed a brand new, Lose combo or a brand new Daiwa combo or whatever, just for showing up to the show. It, of course, doesn't happen to everybody, but the idea is that we try to make it where it's a fun, festive time, and you're getting a discount, but you also could leave with a free lure, free rod, or free reel just for showing up.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You got, Michael Kepner says you could get an aqua hydrate at the door too.
Yes. Oh yes, Michael Kite. You know what, Dan? He is a registered Maine guide, a good friend, one of the best. And I'm not blowing smoke up his Scottish skirt like they say, but he is one of the best anglers I know and hunters. And works for a company that does supply aqua hydrate.
Yeah.
So we give those out to the door, and the staff hydrated the whole entire thing thanks to Michael Kite.
Nice. Well, Dan, did we get our bases covered here? I'd like to do more of these with you. We could talk about some vendors. I want to help you as much as I possibly can with your shows and what you got going on with the people that are involved in your shows also.
Right. Well, the vendors, we have, quality brands. I listed off some of them, but one of the things that I want to make sure that I do touch on, because I haven't yet, is, the cabins and camps and lodges, right? So these guys come, and here they have a camp in Maine or a lodge in Canada or wherever up in New York, right? Think about it. Those companies are catering to outdoorsmen, but I know personally so many of those camp owners, that's not an easy business to run and or make money at. So when they come and spend their hard-earned money to set up a booth to try to get clients to go up to their camp or their lodge, there's a few good ones that I'm fortunate to come to my show. Wheaton's Lodge, Long Lake Camps. Oh boy, like I said, I'm going to get in trouble again because I'm going to forget a couple of them. But
I know. Here, go to the websites. That's what I wanted to expect.
Yeah, the exhibitor list will be on my website.
Take a look at who's going to be there. Go to the website.
Yeah, go to the website. Well, as we get closer to the shows, I update the exhibitor list. But Nicktow Lodge, Northern Lights Lodge. So these guys, again, the challenge that I have and that I take really serious is, for them to go away from home and to set up camp at my shows, and if they don't do well, then I don't sleep good, right? So
yeah.
Another component of the shows is I try to encourage my buddies, what I call my social media buddies, my friends online, to come to the show, book a 2-day stay. Number one, you're going to have a great time. Number two, it's typically economical. Number three, you're going to have a great time. So help support these guys. Help support the industry that is supporting you. I I've seen, just in my short life, I have seen many of these lodges, cabins, camps just go under, just disappear.
I know. And that's why we're doing this, Dan. That's why we're doing this. You know, I want to help. I want to help everybody out there. I know you do too. We want to help them.
Louis Bernardo, what's up, Louis? He's a folder as well. So we got that out of the way with Louis Bass. So as far as the shows go, I know that you're pumping up the information. I do appreciate that. Anybody can email me at nefoexpo@gmail.com. I can send you the information about the 3 shows. It's real important to also say that what I like to do is on my show channels, I share out, I'm only as good as the information that people post, right? So if you're a company in the industry and you want me to share out your product or to share out your information or to share out your special, then you need to let me know about it. I do miss things. So, you know, if you have a special, I'll share it. I do my very best to be an equal opportunity guy with sharing away on social. And Dan, maybe
you do a good job. You really do a good job, Dan. You really do. You do a good job with you work hard at doing the social media.
But I have had guys that have said, well, you shared Joe Smith's post 3 times and you only shared my company once. And I'm like, well, all you have to do is send me a text or call me and it'll be solved.
Well, and here's another one. I want to say this to the vendors. I get mad because I help Mike. You guys, they could do some work too. I try to explain to these guys, you guys have to work a little bit too to get people at the show to come and see you. You know, it's a 2-way street. This all is a 2-way street here. It's all not one way where, you know, Dan's the dog that gets kicked today. You know, it's like we all got to be in this and work together at this.
Now let's get off of the expo topic for a moment.
Okay.
Never did ask you this. Packers fan or you don't care?
Packers.
Okay.
Come on, man.
So that means that we won't meet you in the Super Bowl this year. so I can't get any good steps in because it's just the Packers are done already.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Kick in the gut. Okay. And it didn't even see it coming. I got kicked in the gut.
No, but on a serious note, Dan, I clicked the Ravens in the 49ers game today. That was incredible. And now we have the Patriots coming up later on tonight for us New England fans. But it's
Patriots are good. Patriots are
great.
Good. God, they're good. You guys are blessed up there. Year after year, they just do good.
Yeah, but I would really like to see a Green Bay Pats, and also again another Super Bowl between. I was hoping for it this year, and this is an honest statement because Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, I think, are neck and neck and always have been, right? So it would really be nice to see another Super Bowl before one of them has to retire.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yes, it would. It would be nice.
So I'm sad that Green Bay is not doing as great as I was. I actually was pulling for them because it's been great to face them and I guess I would say, in my opinion, I think Tom's won, obviously, and Aaron's too, but I'm sure you think Aaron's won and Tom's too. But that's
Tom Brady. I've been a Tom Brady fan since he started. I think that guy's just a class act all the way around. He's just Tom Brady's just a class act guy. If we got to come back and get reincarnated, okay, if I come back in my next life, please God, make me Tom Brady,
Yeah,
back as Tom Brady. Or
5 million people, right? So let me see. So we covered off on the expos, and I know you put the information there, but seeing as we're live now, and it's 5:26, we went on about 5, so we'll just make this a quick 30-minute snippet. Why don't you tell the outdoors people a little bit about what you're doing so that they can like your page and check it out?
Well, the new website is coming. Carlos has got it almost done. We want to be, you'll be able to go on the website and put in your information. And we want to be the hub for outdoor information. We want to be, my deal is where you go before you buy. So we're going to have our own TV network. We're going to have the website where people can come in and register, and they can do their profiles. When people are looking for outdoor products and outdoor services, the Outdoor Trade Show Network is where you go. We'll have all that information, and that's my goal with this. And I also want to do these live broadcasts with everybody that's in the industry. Everybody in the industry. I really want to do this. The big thing that we're doing, Dan, is we're going to show a lot of love to the firearms industry. So that's why a lot of what we're doing is independent. It's going to be independent with the TV network. We'll be on Roku, Apple TV, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and you're going to be able to buy firearms off of our network, off of television, plus along with camping and resorts and off-roading and fishing and everything that has to do with the outdoors will be part of this Outdoor Trade Show Network.
Well, and I did see, I looked up when we first got in touch, you told me a little bit about yourself, and thank you so much for having me on. But I know that with you having a lot of pull in the firearms industry, you're going to have a lot of guns, a lot of ammo. You probably know that I live in a communist state of Massachusetts, so it's a little bit tougher here. The laws, it's not impossible, but to get guns, like from which I've done before. So you order them from there, you get the FFL certificate, has to be sent to a gun shop here.
Right.
They be certified.
Right. It'll still be all done that way. It'll all still be done that way. Yep.
Yeah. So it's possible. It's just that, some states out here, mine one of them in New York, they make it pretty tough.
Well, and we're going to work around that. We can do these live broadcasts. I don't know if you know what's going on with YouTube and Facebook and a lot of the other big social media platforms is they do not want any firearms content. They would like firearms people to just disappear and go away because they're just a thorn in their side. And that's not the case with us. I mean, I strongly believe that the reason that this country is as strong as it is, it's because there's a firearm under everybody's bed. So, and I want to help to keep it that way. So, and we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna work real hard for any and everybody in this outdoor industry, and we're also gonna work real hard for the firearms people. So, and that's why we're creating an independent network. Yeah.
Now I know we talked about my guy Mike Kipe, the guy from Aquahydrate. I don't know if he's still watching, but I know what you're saying with a firearm under your bed. The problem is, if I have to get up from my sleep and crawl under my bed, I'm already dead. So I hope it's under your pillow.
Yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. But Dan, let's do this. We're going to talk more about your shows. I would like, to know more about your vendors and know more about what's coming up. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this one here. Your first show is the New England Fishing Expo, which is January 24th to the 26th. They can go to the website, take a look at everything. I would like to talk to you in February before your February show, and I'd like to talk to you in March before your March show. And we could talk about your shows and your vendors and your people.
Yep, and I'll just leave you with this, Dan. I had mentioned some of the shows. I may have forgot somebody, but in Maine, there's, like I said, there's a great show in Maine. There's a great show in New Hampshire, in Rhode Island, in Vermont. That one's called the Yankee Classic. In Mass, there's Springfield. So there's great shows in all of those states.
Nice.
5 of the 6 New England states have great shows.
Nice.
And good people running them, and we all get along and we try to help each other. So that's I think I covered off on the New England states, but there's some really good shows out there, and obviously New York is not New England, but there's a couple of good ones in New York too that I know are very popular. A lot of people like to go to.
Okay, and another one I'd like to put this out to all your vendors and all the people that are in your show. Get a hold of us. I would love to do these with them. If they would like to do a broadcast to talk about their products and talk about their businesses or their service, it's a matter of get a hold of us. I'd love to do these We Care You Matters with all of your vendors. It's a matter of get a hold of us or get a hold of you. But between the two of us, if anybody has questions, we're going to help you out. We're going to take care of you. We're going to help you out. So
right. And Dan, just on that note, when I update the exhibitor list, which will start to happen, in the next month or two for all the shows, I'll keep upgrading them. But if you have a question about a specific vendor or a lodge owner or a company, and you see it on my exhibitor list, just zap me a text and I'll put you in touch with the owner. How's that?
Yeah, that's the same way with us here. If anybody has a question or concern with anything, get a hold of us. We're going to go out of our way to do the best job we can to help them out.
All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Dan. 5:32 my time, so we're 2 minutes over.
We're 2 minutes over. Did we do good?
But that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We got the show information out there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dan. I'd like to do more of these with you. You know my policy with you is I'm a phone call away. Anytime you want to talk about your shows or your vendors, I'm a phone call away, Dan. We can do these. We can do these whenever you want to. We can do this every night if you'd like to. So with that, we're gonna say goodnight and thank you, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for having me, Dan. Take care.
Thank you.